I go to a bank, I get all this stinking money out of this bank, right? They give me like, oh, first, but I'm fresh out of prison. They give me like 15 grand, right, on business loan, right? And I go take the money and I dump it all in this freaking car dealership, right? Thinking that it was going to be a good idea, good investment. God's number one will for anybody. If you're ever confused about God's will for your life, knowing that he's called you to be a father is going to be number one. I'll look at videos that are old sometimes, like it's just a good video the person made it 10 years ago, but people are still watching. It's just a good video. And you'll tune in and it'll literally have a message for you. I think people in prison have such an awesome opportunity to get out and really focus on developing a skill or getting into some kind of industry where they can make money as they develop rather than just capped out. So I mean, there's all kinds of, but yeah, job is probably suicide to anybody getting out of prison because you're going to trap yourself into it.
All good, man. What's keeping you busy these days?
I'm just doing a lot of freight brokering. I'm just building this social media brand. I'm working on YouTube at the moment, and just building the brand and freight broker, trying to maintain single dad life and freight brokering and social media and all the other dog dad or whatever. You know what I mean? I got me old Amstaff, got me old Pitbull. So he's wild, but yeah. Other than that, man, doing good. How about you?
I love it, man. We're doing good. We're doing good. All the things. What's the biggest goal right now? Like if you wanted to if you said this is what I want to do full time, what would that be?
Biggest goal right now is YouTube digital assets. Just for the simple fact that you only got to create them once.
Yeah.
And just I guess digital assets in all aspects, not necessarily have to just be like the YouTube. YouTube is a huge part, but you could courses, anything that you could necessarily put down, and not even about making money, but just put it down on something, and and have so by the time it gets good enough to sell, you'll have it forever. One shot, one shot.
I like that. Tell the people who you are, Big Nate. Tell them who you are. Tell them where you came from.
My name is Nathan. I go by the Felon Entrepreneur on all social media platforms. I turn felons into entrepreneurs using all kinds of various tactics, credit mainly, LLCs, business funding. I've been out of prison about 5 years, single father. I've had 4 cars. I'm in a beautiful house now. All just due to hustle and grit. I've started multiple businesses and having multiple businesses fail. Started mentorship for people getting out of prison. That's on all my social media as well. But right now, just mentoring, man, building the brand, building the family, and mentoring people getting out of prison.
How long did you do?
I did about 4 years this last time. Altogether, I've done about 15 years. I've been locked up about 4 different terms. I mean, 4 or 5 different terms if you're not even counting juvenile. You know what I mean?
Where did it start from? Because you mentioned juvenile. So, like, what was the first time that you got in trouble? And, like, where did that come from, bro?
The first time I got in trouble, I took this lady's weed out of her house, man. It was a neighbor lady, actually a friend of mine named Travis. It was his mom, and we stole her weed and ended up getting like police calls and stuff. I got in trouble. She said a bunch of other stuff was took, but we had just took her weed at the time. But yeah, that was probably the first time I've actually like literally got in trouble as far as like going to jail or nothing. I don't think I went to like jail necessarily. It was so long ago, but I think they did. I did get arrested and let go or something to that effect. I know I did get in trouble.
Got it. So that wasn't like a major charge. Were your parents around when you were growing up? What was your mentorship like?
No, no dad. I've never had a dad. I met my dad once while he was in prison, but I was like super young. No, my mom was in my life till like 10, 11-ish around there. She had got sick with hepatitis. Back then it was really bad. And she was basically laid her out like bedridden. So she couldn't do nothing. And I took off to the streets myself. I was raised around a lot of dope dealers and stuff like that. Newport Richey, Pasco County, Florida is a pretty big, not too much with dope these days, but back then it was a big crack epidemic. So I was raised during that. So raised by dope dealers, dope boys, and people out the hood for the main part.
And was the goal when you were doing that, did you even know at the time, but was the goal just to get the free drugs, or was it to really try to make money to get yourself into a better situation?
The goal at the time was to party and have fun. I don't remember having any solid goals like as far as getting rich or any. I mean, of course, everybody wanted to be rich. You know, you see movies and stuff like that where people you want to emulate some of the dope dealers or some of the stuff you see in the movies, but I never had any real goals. I was just really hanging out with chicks and stuff like that. And I was younger, and so like there's a lot a lot older chicks and stuff I was trying to impress. So like stealing guns and money and all that stuff at a young age.
I got you. I got you.
Cars, like riding around with cars at like 12, 13 years old and stuff like that. Just crazy, just freaking crazy Florida stuff, man. Crazy Florida stuff. Yeah.
Did you do all your time in the States, in Florida?
Yeah, every time I've gotten in trouble or anything, it's always been in Florida. So yeah, everything's down in Florida.
What was your time? What's prison time like in Florida? How's the meals? How's the politics?
Prison time in Florida, for the most part, is super easy. I mean, if you're not getting into anything, you don't have to really worry about nothing per se. So, like, as long as you mind your business, don't gamble, don't there's like a few rules. You don't want to gamble. You definitely don't want to borrow anything. You don't want to hang out with anybody who's, suspect, who has any kind of brand. Basically, like you don't want to brand yourself with anybody in prison who got some bad stuff going on. Maybe he's got some weird stuff on his case. He's got some chomo stuff or something. But, and then stay away from gambling, stay away from drugs, man. Just work out. You'll honestly be okay. As long, as far as Florida. Florida's really, really not segregated and stuff like a lot of different places that I see. I see like on YouTube or whatever that there'll be prison, these other prison creators talk about how prison's so tough and stuff like. I don't know. I've never seen it be tough, but I've never been in a different state or anything like that. So I don't know. I can't really speak on that too much.
I like it. I like it. So where did the idea with the Felon Entrepreneur come from?
Felon Entrepreneur. Okay, so ever since I was locked up, when I had this dream of like getting out, so I wrote all this stuff down. Like I was gonna get out and start some social media and just document the whole journey from when I got it. I had this thing like in my idea, like I see myself getting out and documenting this whole journey of me getting out and like becoming rich, and maybe not rich, I don't know, just like famous or whatever, just this whole like success journey that I wanted to document on video, that I wanted to capture, just to be able to inspire people that are getting out of prison that they could do it too. My whole thing, I wanted to do it like bootstrap, like get out with nothing, do it on a cell phone, and then be like, look, there's no other excuses but to do it on a, you know what I mean? Like, bro, I did it on a cell phone. There's nothing else.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
In the trenches. Have you had what's your reception been like? Has the audience feedback been good? Walk the people through the last 5 years.
Oh man, so I didn't start, and okay, when I first got out, TikTok had just like, I got out on COVID, like in the beginning of COVID. And like there was no TikTok when I got out. So when I was writing all this stuff down in my journals and stuff like that, it was never like, TikTok was never an option. Never thought about TikTok or anything. And then I get out, TikTok had just shown up. So I dropped my first video on TikTok, right? It was maybe like 3 or 4 months after I got out, and it got like a lot of views, like one video. I'm like, oh, this is I've never had that before, you know what I mean? Because the way the algorithm was set up. So I just started dropping on TikTok, and it basically just started with just mindset stuff, I guess, stuff I learned in prison. And then I started seeing like prison creators talking about prison. So I did that for a little bit, but I didn't like that. I don't like talking about prison. Not that I don't like talking about prison, but I don't like basing I don't want to put my social media all on some crap about talking about a bunch of nothing in prison. Basically, like, you just telling prison stories, which is cool. Ain't nothing against anybody, whatever, but it never resonated with me just to sit there and talk about some stuff that ain't helping it ain't helping me in any, or anybody in any way, to me.
Man, I couldn't agree with you more, bro. Like, which is why I love the entrepreneur side of what you do. Like, I hate the glorification of it. So many of these guys came up on it, I was tough behind the walls and there was no cameras and like, man, but the reality is none of that pays your bills.
No, definitely not. And I feel like if you can help enough people help enough people, then we could definitely do, like someone's going to help you. I've been reached out by like news companies, TV shows, all kinds of stuff, all simple for the fact that like all I'm doing is trying to help somebody. I haven't been able to necessarily monetize it, nor am I like really trying to per se. I have a mentorship for people getting out of prison that's $300 a month, but that's just because you get like full access to me. Like we're gonna go in, you're gonna we're gonna do all your social media, brand you on social media. We're gonna I mean, dude, literally, you're gonna get with me. We're gonna make a game plan, and then we're gonna implement it on a personal basis for the next X amount of time or whatever. Yeah, definitely worth it. But that's just simply to cut the clowns out. Because if you let I've noticed like if you try to help, not that you can't help people, but if you don't limit some access or something, man, it gets a little much. And then there's people that are not serious and all that stuff like that. So that's basically where I'm at with that. But yeah, I do. I'm helping people, mentoring people getting out of prison and then bring them through the whole journey. I made a lot of mistakes and like people could like I could save people a lot of stinking time to get out of prison.
Tell them, give us an example of like one of the mistakes that you've made that you
I
walk
got here's a great
people
one,
through.
right? So boom, I go to a bank, I get all this stinking money out of this bank, right? They give me like oh first but I'm like I'm fresh out of prison. They give me like 15 grand, right? On business loan, right? And I go take the money and I dump it all in this freaking car dealership, right? Thinking that it was gonna be a good idea, good investment, right? And and I fly by the seat of my pants a lot, especially like entrepreneur ventures. But I ended up killing the business by jumping straight into the dealership because I was already selling cars on the side. I didn't have to do the business. Instead of taking all the money and dropping into a business for legitimacy or to really at the end of the day, I had something that was working perfect and I was trying to do too much too fast and not even taking any mentorship or anything. So like I was making all this money. I took all this money, freaking dumped it into this building. Basically, it was like rent, bro. It was totally freaking the worst thing I could have ever did, and it ended up killing the whole business and everything. And neither here nor there. At the end of the day, like basically, like instead of trying to do something, whatever is working, just double down on the working. Like if I could have just kept selling cars on the low or whatever off Facebook Marketplace, I was making good money, kept my job. But instead, I quit the job, dumped all this cheat, and I can help people, especially with like business loans because a lot of times you don't even need a business loan. I done freaking got business loans that messed up. I done blew all the cheese. I had like 60, 50 grand, 60 grand freaking loan to me, bro. Blew all that to just not having a solid plan. So it's like getting the money is the easy part. And then you get the money and then you're like, oh, I don't even know what to do with the money.
Okay,
You'll
I
see.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you've had some wins, you've had some losses in the business world.
Yes. Lots of losses. Lots of
Lots of losses. No one
learning
talks
lessons.
about their losses.
Dude, I freaking lost so much car businesses. I had a concession stand. I did a t-shirt business. I was doing digital marketing, but I'm still do digital marketing on the side for like friends and stuff, helping people with like social media. I just don't really promote it too much. That's more like a freelance thing.
What do you do for that? You do like their editing, their clips. What do you do for that?
No, I get with people and we make reels. So like I'm pretty good at proficient at making reels. So we basically brand your business on just a low key level. Like I'll go through like these are people I know. So I'm like, hey, we go through your Instagram, your Facebook, and your TikTok, whatever. Like, okay, you need a headshot here. We're gonna take this. Let's reword this. Let's set up your funnel. You know what I mean? Like, what's your product, whatever. And then we create reels based around whatever you're trying to do at the time, but something that's sustainable. I'm not just like come in and do the reels for you. So I just come in and like I teach them the basic concepts of how to create them themselves as well. So they can walk away with at least learning something too, where you're not just paying somebody to
Yeah, I
just
love that. I love that. I think that's key. When did you drop into the freight brokering stuff? A lot of felons, a lot of the guys that are behind the walls, they hear about trucking and freight brokering. So like dispel all the myths around it. Like what's the good, what's the bad? Do you think it's for everybody? Who's it for?
Freight brokering is definitely not for everybody. It's a constant mental. You have to definitely keep telling yourself your why, because it's long and arduous. It's hard to get into it. Not it's easy to get into it. It's hard to sustain it because it's a constant grind. It's not something that you could just stop. Like you just can't take a break. At least not for the initial first 3, 4, 5 years. There's no like It's like, oh, hey, I want to go take a week vacation because I don't feel good or something like that. Yeah, that's your whole week will, because in sales, if you don't like, you basically have a funnel. Like, you have a funnel, your sales funnel. So you're packing your funnel, you're putting all your leads in it. And then, you want to, keep your pipeline filled of prospects. And if you let that funnel go empty, so if you're not constantly prospecting, your funnel will get empty and you will not make any money. And freight broker, no one's paying you. I work for myself, so if I don't make no money, I just don't make no money. If I don't, if you don't pay no rent, it's just you're sick. If you're sick, you're just sick. You know?
That's all there is to it, huh? No one's coming to save you.
No, so it's kind of liberating at the same time. But if you don't have that discipline, like especially just jumping straight out of prison, and you ain't never worked, you never like say you've been selling dope your whole, I don't know, you never worked, you had never had no discipline. You get out, and then they're like, all right, you're a freight broker, here you are, but you don't have like you ain't no one's making you do anything, so you don't have to. You could literally just do whatever you want. I could go to the beach right now if I want to, but that's not, I have to, that's not good and I'm not going to make no money. So that's not something you want to do. So definitely self-discipline is a huge thing in freight brokering. And you got to be a people. So you're talking to people all day, man. And sometimes, people ain't really on that.
Yeah. Yeah, big time. And you're a people person for sure. And so outside of the freight brokering, walk people through the mentorship. Like, are you getting a lot of response? This is obviously going to go to a boatload of individuals behind the bars. So who's your ideal customer and like, where do they find you and what do they get from you?
Well, initially right now I have it open. I only have 40 spots available. That's only I got 38 spots available now. I haven't been pushing the issue because I don't want people to sign up simply based on the fact that I had like a viral video or something. So I don't ever talk about it, but it's in the link of my bio. And really like people reach out to me on DMs and they ask me questions about it too. But well, what we do is I get with you the first call whenever you were to purchase or want to purchase. We get with you the first call. Everything's going to be used with the assistance of like AI. I got some of my own custom GPTs that I can help answer the questions, build them up, my people a profile. So we build you out a profile on the first call based on I have some questions like a scorecard. So you go through, you fill out, you answer all these questions, and I can definitely help you as well. And then once we do that, I put you into this system. It's going to build you like a game plan. And so for that first time on, we have two sessions a week, but they're going to be group mentoring sessions where everybody gets together on Zoom. So that's twice a week. And then we're going to implement your plan based on whatever your goals or your personal goals were. And that continues until we hit, we have like key performance indicators of like we'll map out your whole thing. It's definitely going to be able to see where you're at on the list. But yeah, and then we'll just do that. And as long as you keep the mentorship, then we will, we'll just keep mentoring you until you get to eventually where you want to be or start mentoring people yourself. Try to be like a pay it forward type of thing.
I got you. I got you. That makes sense. So with what you're doing, I mean, you spent, a decade plus behind bars in different stints, right? But now you've been out 5 years. You're successful. You're sober. You've got the young one taking care of business. What's been the change in the mindset, Nate? Because it's not easy to go from 14 years in prison to successful entrepreneur. So what was the shift for you that caused that?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to just for the record, it's not easy. Like, I fought addiction when I first got out. I still fight addiction, even though it may not be like hardcore drugs, but like marijuana and drinking and little dumb stuff that like compromises who I am I still fight that. I just want everybody to know that because I know people are gonna be hearing this stuff and it's not like I'm glorifying it, but it's just real stuff, man. Like this stuff, when you first get out of prison, you don't even understand the stuff that's gonna hit you because you're now like affronted with women, and then the women's got the drugs, and the drugs got and they got their baggage, and like it's literally everything is hitting you at once. But the key thing that has always kept me going forward, no matter where I'm at, is my why, and my why is my son, right? So it doesn't matter how far down I am, or no matter what, I always remember God's number one will in anybody's life. I know this for a fact.
God's number one will for anybody. If you're ever confused about God's will for your life, knowing that He's called you to be a father is going to be number one. I can guarantee if you do not know anything else on earth, on this world, you can guarantee that God's will for your life is to be a father. And that comes with a certain privilege of who you are as his creation. Because if you're called to be a father, then you're going to be called to provide a home. You're going to be called to have a car, a reliable car. It may not be the night, but I'm just reliable car. I mean, there's certain stuff that food, you're going to have food and you're going to have clothing on your child's back. And then you're going to be well taken care of because you're going to have to take care of your son. So if you could just hold on to the fact that you're supposed to be a father, even if the baby mama has the kid or whoever has the kid at the moment, because a lot of times we put ourselves in that position when we get locked up that the mother has a kid, so we just relinquish all power to her. But if we just were to get on our P's and Q's and get on our grind, we could definitely make the money to get a lawyer to get the kid. Or you just make that your main priority. So like, okay, my son, my daughter, X is my priority. What do I gotta do to become a father? Okay. Spiritually, mentally, boom, this is my game plan. All right, I'm gonna get out of prison. This is what I'm gonna do. And then, God is literally going to honor that as long as you ask him, he's going to honor that. And you're going to come against bumps and all this good stuff and stuff's gonna knock you down, but you just hold on that I'm a father. All the extra stuff's gonna come along with it, man. I promise you, he's gonna kill addiction and all the extra stuff gonna burn off. And that's what I hold on to. When everything's said and done, I'm like, no, God, you called me to be a father. You called me to be a good father. And he's never let me down. Yeah, he's never let me down. I haven't been let down yet. I got a nice car, house, all that. Never let me down. It's been bumpy sometimes, but I hold on to that. That's like my number one. But you can find out if you don't have kids, you can find that why in anything. It could be your mom, your little sister needs you, your little brother needs you. You got family out there that are freaking going through it. They're poor, or people are hungry. You got to get out and man up for your family. I mean, your why could be anything, but you find that why that's deeper than any cars or anything like that. It'll keep you grinding.
I love that, bro. That why is important, big time. I've got four little ones, and that's exactly my why as well. So I'm glad you shared that.
Yeah, you think about it too, right? Like if something gets hard, you pop back to you like, oh, it like literally puts you back in like right back into perspective. You back. Yes, sir. Yep.
Big time, man. Big time. Because it's not about you any longer. It's about them.
Yes, yes. The minute you try to make it about you, man, it's over with.
Yeah, big time. I love it. What else are you working on outside of the freight brokering?
Podcast. I'm like I said, this YouTube, man, it's been on my heart. It's been I got to get on this YouTube, man, because people need to see. I want to share entrepreneur stories like who've been like successful, because I know like
Yeah.
just seeing people getting out of prison being successful, man, is like it's like a high for me. I'm in purpose whenever I'm on you, like whenever I'm in. This is a big thing. If you can find your purpose, your alignment, that thing that makes you feel good, that thing that no matter how much money you have, and you do it anyways, that's your purpose. Whatever that is, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to find. And that's how social media is for me, man. Whatever, like whenever I'm doing it or like talking, like when I'm talking to you right here, man, I don't feel no want or need or ain't nothing. Like I feel like good. I'm in purpose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just to find stuff like that is what I'm doing. The YouTube puts me in that perspective, puts me in that zone, and it's building assets. You're doing it too, man. Digital assets, man.
Yeah, it's the ticket. It's the ticket. And I also, to go back to what you talked about with your why, with your son, I always tell my kids, when I'm long dead and gone, hopefully you'll have all of these conversations that I had, and you'll be able to, hear advice and hear wisdom and hear trials and tribulation, way, way longer than when I've been gone.
Yeah. Yeah. And when they tune into these videos, man, like, it's something that stuck with me too. Damon Thompson, he's like, he's a pastor of like evangelical, whatever. But he says that he makes these videos, right? And they don't get a lot of views, right? But it's only because maybe he's like 5, 10 years where you never know when someone's going to be searching through YouTube. I do it. I'll look at videos that are old sometimes. Like it's just a good video the person made it 10 years ago, but people are still watching. It's just a good video. And you'll tune in and it'll literally have a message for you but it's 10 years old. But the message is so relevant to you now that you're just like, and your stuff is that for somebody. or my stuff is that for somebody. I've had people, and I'm sure you have too, like, hey man, you changed my life. You said this on this podcast, or you said this, man, and it boom, opened my eyes. So like you're just dropping jewels and like basically like in a safe or something, man, that for God to activate later on. Sometimes someone's on there or something. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. Did you always have this relationship with God, or did this come in the last 5 years?
I've been always been a believer, man. And I've always been praying, but I think the entrepreneur journey helps you appreciate God more. If that it does, because like it makes because stuff doesn't work. Stuff never doesn't work unless it's like crazy. Like I know for a fact that God had to make some of this stuff work. Like even it like any like whatever however you put it, it's Jesus to me, but whatever I don't care about whatever to each his own, you know what I mean? But like I know for a fact that like the God had made this stuff work, even loans, credit, cars, and you're like some of this stuff will blow your mind that it could not have been any other way that like he had done this. And I believe that as the further you go along this entrepreneur journey, and the more long shots you take, and then they hit or something, you're like, oh. Like, oh, you're like, that was God. Like, you know it. And it makes me appreciate it more. So that's why it's all about the journeys made me appreciate it more, man. And just being gratitude is part of any self-development journey or something. You just got to be grateful for what you have and not what you don't, man. Because yeah. I try to live in the gratefulness, man. It's hard sometimes, but yeah.
The gratitude is where it's at, bro, because I'll tell you what, I get to go back behind bars I'm actually going tomorrow. So I get to go pretty often, a couple times a month sometimes. And the worst day on the outs, beats the best day inside.
Yeah. Hey, some of them boys, man, they would freaking cut off the right leg to be outside or something, man. It's a good feeling, man. You go what prisons you go into?
Oh man, nationwide. Nationwide.
Yeah.
Nationwide. Yeah. Is there one that's closest to you? We should try to set it up and get you in with us.
Oh, I got all kinds of prisons around me. They got federal, they got Coleman, they got Hernando CI, Sumter CI, Polk CI. Yeah, these are all around me.
Yeah, we'll have to definitely try to set something up for it. It would be a lot of fun. Talk to the guys about the struggle, man, because I teach the entrepreneur course inside. They've got the course in the literacy. And I try to tell them, like, you're perfectly positioned to be an entrepreneur. Like, so many of these guys are worried about coming out and filling out a job application. And I'm like, you're on the wrong focus. You don't need to fill out a job application. You need to worry about getting a skill set or building a business. What's your take on that?
No, that's so crazy that prior to this we've only spoke a couple times. It's so crazy that we're so aligned. I just want everybody to know that we didn't even talk about this interview or nothing. It's just coming out. But the getting into a job is probably one of the worst things you could ever do, because what you do is you get out. Really, you ain't got nothing when you get out, no matter what, right? You ain't got nothing in there, you ain't got nothing out for the most part. There's just special cases. You get out, you don't have nothing. So like you're such in a rush that you just want to grab the first thing smoking just to get you some money to be able to. But what that does is you end up putting yourself into such a corner because you're not opening yourself for the other opportunities that are available, or technical skills. Because a lot of people don't understand, like, to get out and get something that has a cap on it is like death to yourself, because you make just enough to keep yourself there, and you'll never want to quit, especially when you get out. You get the girl, you get the kid, you get the chick pregnant, or whatever the case is. Now you're stuck in there, right? And there's a cap on the much you can make. Any job, you're not going to ever get rich off a job. It's impossible. And that was a key indicator that when I got out of prison, that it took me to a while. And it sounds so simple, but it never hit me before. You're like, you can't get rich off a job. You can't. It's impossible. And so with that being said, I'm like, okay, well, what can I do? I have to develop something that the more I develop, the more I could get paid for. So like there's few industries that could do that. Like the better you are, the more you should be getting paid, rather than just capping out. So like sales, skills, marketing, high value skills, the better you get, there's all kinds of high value skills out there. Freight brokering is one of them. That's what I got into. That's why I figured it out. I was like, okay, what do I got to do? I got to get a skill. Sales. even door-to-door sales or something digital where you create assets, and it's something that you only create once, like a book, digital products, courses. People getting out of prison are such at a awesome time because they already don't have anything, so there's nothing else more to lose. You can literally, I mean, you're already all in, you know what I mean? You can literally get out. And people are so prone to help somebody getting out of prison initially, right? That everybody will jump through hoops. Now, when you're out for 4 or 5 months and you ain't got nothing, they're just like, oh, he ain't got nothing. He's just broke. He's just a bum. But if you first get out of prison, you can actually use that as leverage, right? I always teach about getting into a home base, a church, whatever your religion is. If you're a Muslim or whatever you're doing, right? You get out, you get with your people, man. First and foremost, right? You get whatever you're going. Hit a church, hit whatever, boom. All right. Now I'm plugging on people and say, hey, you know, God's gonna move through stuff like that. Hey, I'm in here. I just got out of prison, man. That's gonna be your home base because you could already market, network. First number one thing about creative job searching. There's a thing called creative job searching, and it's like literally like networking with your people to get jobs that weren't otherwise. A good job is not gonna be in the paper, right? For the most part.
Yep.
Right. I mean, there are, but you know what I mean? Like a lot of jobs people get into through people they know that they never thought they would get into. Like freight broker, and I got into it, never even heard of it. But just because of someone I never thought about shipping a piece of machinery. Who thinks of shipping machinery? But this is like a real thing. And there's plenty of things to do just like that. So with that being said, I think people in prison have such an awesome opportunity to get out and really focus on developing a skill or getting into some kind of industry where they could make money as they develop rather than just capped out. So I mean there's all kinds of, but yeah, job is probably suicide to anybody getting out of prison because you're going to trap yourself into lock yourself into a corner. It's not going to be good.
Yeah, no, you're spot on about that, bro. I love that. When you talk about getting out, what was some of the hurdles that you faced that you didn't anticipate?
Hurdles that I didn't anticipate. I thought I was more spiritually strong than I was. So I was like riding on this like high horse when I got out that I was like, just because I was maybe the top dog in my little dorm I was in as far, what I'm saying? I'm at a work camp. And just getting out and not being where I thought I was mentally or prepared to take on the hit. Because as soon as I got out, like I never thought about like the women taking you out. You know what I'm saying? Like you get out, the women are like you get these super hot chicks, and and then for instance, you get this hot chick. You don't vape, she vapes. What you gonna do? I bet you start vaping. you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's hot. You just got out of prison. You're like, I ain't doing this. I ain't smoking cigarettes. I ain't smoking weed. Nothing. You get out. You get on Facebook. Some chick hits you up. You add a friend. Now you're Facebook dating. You go out with her. She's got a vape. You hit the vape. Now you're drinking. Now you're smoking because you're already compromised. Next thing you know, you're smoking weed or whatever. So like not my main thing that took me out was just not really expecting how hard the world was going to hit me.
Got it.
Getting prepared for how hard that was going to come at me through areas and means that I never expected in a million years.
Wow. That's good to know, man. And so now looking back on that, what's one piece of advice you'd give to those people that are getting out to avoid?
The best piece of advice I could get out to, like, who you hang around is going to determine everything, right? Whether it be like, I was just speaking about the girls, but whoever you hang around is going to determine everything, what you do, who you become, what you take in. So, if you want to become a different person than you are when you're locked up, you got to like drastically change the people you're with too. You got to become that person, and a lot of that has to do with cutting family members out. I've cut family members out. I've cut friends out. It doesn't even matter if they're not on the same wavelength or page, because then we're just talking about nothing. You know what I mean? And we can't help each other because two broke people like talking about something is just like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't help me, I can't help you, and we're just talking about a bunch of nothing. So it's like really really irrelevant, and you're doing a disservice to you and your family and yourself, honestly. Because like that was the first thing I changed when I got out. I like literally don't talk to nobody I used to talk to. I mean, if I see someone at a store or something, I'm not like rude or nothing, but I don't hang out with nobody. I don't want to hang out with anybody. I have not found like one person I was like, you know what, that's somebody I would want to hang out with. Like I haven't, not yet, not in the 5 years I've been out. I get my friendship through, the way with
Right.
social media these days, you can literally connect with everybody all over the world. You know what I mean?
Right, right, right. That makes sense. Yeah. No, it's people, places, and things that'll make all the difference in the world with making sure you stay out.
100%, man. That's number one. You could go down quick. I'm telling you, the girls will take you down fat. I'm in prison ministry, so the people that my one of my close friends is a pastor of a church, and he has these recovery houses over here. They're faith-based recovery. So the people get out of prison and they come in, they literally fresh out of prison, come to the houses. The number one thing they all do every single time they get out, all is good. They get a cell phone, they get a job, they get the cell phone, whatever. Boom, they're rolling, get a little money in their pocket. Meet a chick on Facebook, Instagram, wherever they made the chick. A lot of times they already know her, or like she was like a friend of a friend of the. Somehow they freaking get out. Their Facebook goes active. They get a little money. At first they don't want, but now they got money in their pocket, $300-400 in the pocket or whatever. The chick hits them up. Now all of a sudden they get in a relationship with the chick, right? The chick, and already she's got all her stuff that she comes with. And so now she's got kids. She got 3 kids. I mean, you know how 3 kids, freaking drug habit. She does Suboxone. It's only Suboxone now. She's just on subs. She's sober or whatever.
Yep.
And nothing against that, but you should say now
Oh,
also
yeah.
subs, bro, don't even last this happens all the time. 2-3 months, they're gone. I'm talking about and they might not go back to jail right away, but they leave the ministry house. They're all freaking strung out. They got this chick yeah, bro, it's bad.
Man, so many things that these guys don't even think of when they're behind there. They're not even thinking about these things.
No, that's what yeah, yeah, man. That's just keeping the from getting attacked. That ain't to mention the bills you gotta pay, the freaking the car, the what do you got? You got the car, insurance, rent, electric, water, cell phone, trash, Wi-Fi. Uh,
All the
what?
bills keeping you up at night.
Yeah, then you got these freaking hookers trying to attack you with these satanic. No, I'm trying to tell you, man, Satan hookers, man. I'm trying to get you every time, dude.
I love it. You crazy. I love it, man. What's your message to the world?
My message to the world, man, is dude, your felonies are your superpower. You can't run from them. You can't, it's over with. You got felonies on your record. Don't use it as an excuse to not succeed in life. Don't use it, oh, I can't do nothing, as that's bull crap. There's plenty of people who have done it, man. I'm out here with people who are doing it, super successful. I'm successful in my own right, man. I got my kid, that's all I wanted when I got out of prison. I literally hit every single goal I planned. The only thing I should have did is like plan bigger goals. I just planned too small. So I got out and just crashed them all. And then you're just like, oh, of course you got to replan, but dream big. It's possible. And you're in an era right now that is so easy to get rich. There's, kids getting rich on a daily AI, use your time wisely, use everything you can to learn, man. Learn while you're in there, while you have time to sit down. Because as soon as you get out, it's going to be all on. It's on. And you're not as strong as you think you are. You need God daily. You know what I mean?
That's a good one, man. That's a good one. I appreciate it, big dog. I'm excited for you, man. I'm excited. I'm excited to get this message behind bars. I'm grateful for your time.
I want to do this again, man. You let me know anytime, brother. I appreciate you, dude.
Yeah, I'd love to set it up. If you want to travel somewhere close, or if we can get to an institution near you, I'd love to set up, have you come behind bars with us.
Let's do it. I'm definitely open, man. I would love that'd be something I'd love to do.
I would love to, man. God bless you. I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you. Keep killing it.